Welcome back to Spooky Stories with the Scarebrarian. Today we're diving into the mysterious world of Mesoamerican mythology. Have you ever heard of beings that can transform into animals under the cover of night? Let me introduce you to the legendary Nahual. Eerie images of a shapeshifter have emerged after a farmer named Roman Ochoa claimed to have witnessed a man transform into a beast. The creature had a horrifying face with piercing white eyes as it stared directly into the camera. It appeared to walk on all fours with paws that looked similar to human feet. Some skeptics suggested it could have been generated with an app powered by AI, but Ochoa said it absolutely was not. This was, in fact, he claimed, a Nahual or shapeshifter that had been seen around the ranch many times before. In contemporary times, many people are amazed to discover a Mexican legend about beings capable of nocturnal transformations, turning from human to animal. Known as Nahuales, these shapeshifters can become creatures like owls, jaguars, or coyotes at night. Nahuales hold a very special place in Mesoamerican folklore, especially among the Aztecs and the Maya. These beings are believed to transform into animals for sorcery or spiritual purposes, and they are often regarded as spiritual companions, providing special powers or insights. This belief is intertwined with themes of spiritual connections with animals, common in many indigenous cultures worldwide. Today, belief in Nahuales persists in rural areas and within cultural practices linked to traditional medicine and spiritual healing. Tracing their origins to pre-Hispanic times, Nahuales are thought to descend from sorcerers called Tlacatecotl, meaning owl man, who appeared only at night. They are believed to inhabit all parts of Mexico, including regions like Sinaloa, Morelos, Chihuahua, Oaxaca, as well as parts of the southern United States like California, New Mexico, and Texas. Ancient drawings in codices and stone paintings suggest their presence for centuries. Often depicted as lords of the night, these legends describe Spaniards encountering animals that transformed into humans upon death, highlighting their mysterious allure in Mexican culture. Pre-Hispanic cosmology regarded them as close to deities like Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec feathered serpent. Experts see them as capable of anatomical transformation to blend in without harm. They can be intimidating and violent, but typically do not harm unless provoked. It is said that Nahuales still live among us, especially in small towns, many claiming to have witnessed their transformation. In Oaxaca, Nahuales are believed to be guardians of individuals, with each person having a unique Nahual. Stories from places like San Vicente de Piñas and León describe a supernatural relationship where a person's Nahual, usually determined shortly after birth, becomes their life companion and guardian. One myth suggests that during Day of the Dead, Nahuales are far more visible, interacting closely with souls they accompanied in life. During these days, people treat animals extra gently in Oaxaca, as they could be somebody's Nahual, alive or deceased. The Codex Borgia, a pre-Hispanic pictograph bark book, features Nahuales on page 22. This codex, used for divination by Aztec scribes, contains no written language, leaving interpretations of these figures open. Now let's explore Spanish colonial perspectives on Nahuales. Spanish colonizers demonized the Nahual, who by indigenous were originally seen as harmless shapeshifters. Spaniards portrayed them as evil and altering native perceptions. The term Nahual now often describes malevolent, which means evil, creatures in rural Mexico. The Spaniards, with their Christian influence, claimed Nahuales attacked with evil spells at night and viewed them as demonic manifestations despite scant evidence. Father Bernardino de Sahagún, a priest in Aztec country, documented Nahuales in Historia de Nueva España, which means history of New Spain, because that is what Spaniards considered Mexico. He described them as sorcerers skilled in shapeshifting and magic, capable of transforming into animals or deceptive forms to protect or harm. His accounts highlight the mix of fear towards these beings. Colonial accounts include legends of sorcerers merging consciousness with animals or physically transforming by removing body parts. Sahagun's description of sorcerers transforming into tigers, dogs, owls, or practicing magic, both beneficial and harmful, further illustrate the demonization and mystification of Nahuales by the Spaniards. Okay, so now let's delve into some famous Nahual legends. First, we have the Nahual of Tepoztlan. In Tepoztlan, a Nahual is a legendary figure known for his ability to transform into various animals to protect the town from threats. This Nahual used his shape-shifting abilities to defend the community against invaders and evil spirits. Respected for his protective role, he was also feared for his magical powers. The Nahual of Oaxaca. The Nahual of Oaxaca is a well-known legend about a man who could transform into a jaguar. He roamed the forest at night and used his strength and agility to protect the land and its people. Villagers would leave him offerings in order to gain his favor and protection. The Nahual of San Martin. In San Martin, Veracruz, the Nahual legend tells of a shapeshifter who would take the form of a large black dog. Known for punishing wrongdoers and protecting the innocent, encounters with this Nahual could result in blessings or curses depending on one's intentions and actions. The Nahual of Tlaxcala. Legend has it that a group of hunters walked through a dense and dark forest when night fell without them having found their way back to the village. Suddenly, a huge dog appeared, barking aggressively. A hunter shot it in the leg and it fled. They found a cabin with a man who had a leg wound, and the villagers explained he was a Nahual. Currently, some drivers in Mexico claim to have seen Nahuales during nighttime drives on highways. They report seeing a dog running beside their car and then a human silhouette in the rearview mirror. Others hear a thud, thinking they've hit a dog, only to see a dog with a human face. Our very last Nahual story comes to us from the region of Morelos. The region of Morelos, Mexico, has a legend of an animal that was causing havoc in the village, but was doing it so stealthily nobody had seen it or could identify what it was. Finally, the animal was caught and it turned out to be a wild boar. It was killed and gutted and thrown in the village dumpster. However, the next day, the traumatized villagers saw that the killed and gutted individual was not actually a pig, but a human. It is said that Nahuales still live among us, particularly in small towns, with many people claiming to have seen them in full metamorphosis. The term Nahual sometimes applies to an animal or protective spirit. Some traditions affirm that each person has an animal assigned at birth to guide and protect them through life. The belief is that sorcerers and shamans can establish a real and special connection with their Nahual.